so bold. The grass was tangled in the backyard. Color the dirt on the knoll where the dog lied for the funeral. Are you lonely all the time? Feel better on the wine. And the glass pane on the door, it was rattling from the heartbeats. She flipped the plaid skirt on the floor, then the glass broke, shot so